The top four special as we hit round 12 of the Commonwealth Bank Trophy, the Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Sydney Swifts. Hello and welcome to Etsa Park. I'm Steve Rebillard for ABC Sport. Well, the Thunderbirds boast an incredible 10-0 record against the Swifts. Each time they play, the Sydney Siders are that little bit closer to the first win. And maybe after the hammering the Thunderbirds took last week, they just might be in a beatable frame of mind. Certainly Liz Ellis and co will hope so. Let's have a look at the table, and the Thunderbirds have had their competition lead trimmed to a point by their conquerors of round 11, Melbourne Phoenix, while the Sandpipers have moved up to third after beating the Swifts by a goal. The Kestrels and Orioles are clearly the next best, each with 5 wins. Then we go back to the Firebirds and the Ravens. Well, Monica Lamb joins me again to discuss this match in front of what should be a noisy Adelaide crowd. And Monica, last week's loss was the biggest by any club this season. The Thunderbirds are in some trouble on top of the table.
Yes, Steve, they are in trouble, but a beatable frame of mind, I don't think they're in at all. The Thunderbirds, if they lose here today, could relinquish the opportunity of missing out on a home final. If the Swifts win, they've almost secured their position in 4th spot for a finals berth. But you've got to look at the unavailability of perhaps Ellis and Catherine Harvey for their teams respectively. They're back here today. Should be another great game.
Reagan Jackson for the Swifts has the match ball, and we're underway. And both these teams losers last week, but I think the Swifts with less to worry about, as Anderson puts up a successful first attempt. And the crowd must have been shocked, Monica, with the turnaround last week in fortunes for the Thunderbirds.
You could feel it, Steve, within the complex of Etsa Park, and as I wandered through the crowd tonight, the supporters of the Thunderbirds were just hoping that they weren't going to put another performance as they did last week, but they've got the first score on the board also.
So Cassie Mogg getting one away, and she has Anna COLDBECK back with her, who returns after ankle injury. So Hodge, Sanders and Squire in the middle, as they would prefer to start, and Harvey rejoins Sarah Sutter in that famous circle defence combination in the Swifts. Well, Kelly Adamson keeps her place at goal attack. She started this corresponding match back in round 4 at centre, but now it's Miller at wing attack, Jackson at centre, Gilson and Williams and Liz Ellis.
And already you can see the Thunderbirds lineup there, the lineup they are used to having, which is Squire in wing defence, Harvey in goal defence and Sutter in keeper, are putting the pressure on Adamson and Anderson. Good attempt there from COLDBECK, who's come back from quite a serious ankle injury.
And Harvey slots straight back into the team, but that's off the hands of Alex Hodge. But a nice turnover anticipation from Harvey that welcome back. And interesting, we were discussing before the match, Monica, that Harvey and Ellis, first time they've missed a match in the National League.
Phenomenal, isn't it? The standard that these two players have set in this Commonwealth Bank Trophy, National Netball League, to miss that game, and both teams suffered. I think the Thunderbirds, as such, noticed Harvey's absence.
But it did force a rejig of the whole lineup, though, too, didn't it?
Yes, it did, yes.
With COLDBECK also out, we can't just put down that big loss to the absence of one player. There were other factors at work. And Marg Ango, I'm sure, has been working hard this week. Put a few things right, including motivation. As Mogg looks for COLDBECK, defending from behind. Williams, contact against her.
6:30 training was called during the week for the Thunderbirds. They wouldn't have been happy with that, so...
That's AM.
Clarify that.
Yuck. Anderson. Miller. Oh, Anderson streams to the front of her defender in Sutter and puts in a 3-2 lead for the Swifts.
So at the moment, the Thunderbirds with 3 attempts to the post. Let's see if COLDBECK can make it 4. 4 attempts to the post for 3 goals to the Thunderbirds.
to say, compared to also the Swift Sandpipers opening last week, it's a much more free-flowing opening. Seeing a bit more netball.
And the Thunderbirds saw the Phoenix flow fairly freely. I'll say it again, flow fairly freely down the court in 4 quarters.
Harvey. Well, Margango said the team needed a bit of a shake-up.
Well done by Catherine Harvey, kept onside but thrown away there by Mogg. Wrong option taken.
So she's got 2 things in mind here, Harvey, and she's got to keep the ball in play and not to go offside. She's not allowed in that attacking goal third. Miller, or Jackson, and it's into the arms of Sutter. 9 apiece.
Win attack, contact.
Contact is against Karen Miller. So she's had 3 penalties against her. Williams 3 also. They're the leading penalty attractors, if you like, and the Swifts through the opening 10 minutes.
It's a good cut and drive there by Sanders, I'm sorry, Steve, and then thrown away by Mogg.
Jackson. Oh, and Harvey just put the hands up at a crucial moment.
Contact, all defense, centre third, centre third.
Good anticipation from Harvey here.
Well, straight up, Anderson's pass a bit flat.
Contact, keep it from behind. Pass it on.
COLDBECK for the lead. She's been away for a few weeks, but sitting on 80%. A good opening from Anna. Obstruction, Adamson, Sanders, Hodge. Oh, plenty of movement from COLDBECK and Mogg, but a strong rebound from Ellis.
Great take from Liz Ellis. The Thunderbirds working well at the moment. Squire
Runs that down. Too quick for Miller. And good defensive pressure in the centre third from the Thunderbirds.
I know you're dying to say it, Steve. We know that Peter Squire is in the police force at the moment, and she is.
Policing the centre third, yes. Here it comes. Looks telegraphed move, really, and Gilson had no trouble picking it off.
Sutter with a good attempt there on Anderson, but she followed it through well.
And Anderson, slick work with Adamson.
Good pass there from Adamson onto Anderson.
Squire, Adamson pulling out of the challenge just as well.
Oh, well done, Liz Ellis, but fell the way of Mogg.
It would have been filthy if they'd run into the commentary table and spilled our freshly arrived coffee.
Hot coffee.
Ellis. And Williams. So, Thunderbirds with the shade better in the shooting department. Only missed 3 between them, Mogg and COLDBECK.
Oh, good work there by Anderson. Took the dodge on Sutter.
So there we are, 11 all, as we were at quarter time in round 4. It was in the second quarter that the Thunderbirds built a sizable lead. They went out by 6 by half time, so we'll keep an eye on the way this match unfolds.
Once again, Harvey, good elevation.
Adamson a little fortunate, wasn't she?
Very fortunate moment. Adamson 4 from 6 at 67%. So the Swifts have put 16 attempts to the post. The Thunderbirds 14 attempts.
Mogg. Oh, Ellis came just a little late. Possession given to Mogg.
Playing the player in front, that was Cassie Mogg. Mogg 8 from 9.
Straight up the middle, and Adamson. Oh, pace. Oh, Squire and Harvey.
Yes, it was Harvey, yes, indicating to COLDBECK to watch as Squire tries to pick that one off.
Oh, Adamson arrives from nowhere. She's quick. Only 170 centimetres, but she is very fast around the court. And it'll be a Thunderbirds throw in. A minute left in this very entertaining first quarter. Some fine netball play. Thunderbirds trying to deny the Swifts a last goal in... Sorry, Swifts trying to deny the Thunderbirds. Get my Seems right. MOGG. But plenty of time for the Swifts to reply. Tied up at 13s. Half a minute to go in the first. Miller looks around, decides she's got to take it. Jackson. And running around Sutter. The speedy Anderson, she's short. And a tip from Sutter to Harvey. What a team they are. And if they're quick, they can get another, the Thunderbirds. COLDBECK. And several moves put on by MOGG. They're not used. Instruction from Williams. Timekeeper's up. MOGG must shoot. And well left. So no extra goal for the Thunderbirds there, but what a great first quarter. 13 apiece.
Fabulous first quarter, Steve. Yes, neither team dominating here. Penalties to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They're on 6 at the moment. Can't see it on screen, but the Swifts are on 18, so the Thunderbirds pulling back a bit. Good shooting there from the Adelaide Thunderbirds at 76%, have put up 17 attempts for 13 goals.
The lead split several times in that first quarter, but we can't separate them as we go to the first break at 13 all. How much will this match mirror their encounter from earlier in the year? They were tied up at quarter time, but then it was the Thunderbirds. So we were 13 all at quarter time here. Now is the time to be awake from the Swifts' point of view. Ellis. As you look at those shooting stats.
Good shooting there from MOGG, 9 from 11, only missed the 2. COLDBECK, not many opportunities, but still only has missed 2 also. Anderson's missed 3, Adamson 5 from 7.
The Swifts do line up differently today than they do in that earlier encounter, because Nat Sloan started that match. She played the first half. Then, after half-time, they switched Adamson from centre to goal attack, and Alison Williams also had an injury that day, I think, and so she didn't finish the match. So the Swifts lineup, I think they did well to get within 2, considering the changes that were forced upon them. Oh, Anderson, thank you.
Few skills required, the agility factors you've mentioned, elevation, good coordination, good hand skills, hand-eye coordination as such. And we see Alex Hodge, who was possibly one of the shortest players within the Thunderbirds lineup, standing at 170, as to Rebecca Sanders at 170 also.
Anna COLDBECK on screen is, in fact, the only goaler over 180 centimetres, and that's only just. So Cassie Mogg at 179, Megan Anderson 178, and these are the teams sitting 1 and 4 on the table. So there's the evidence. It's in.
So if you're vertically challenged, netball is the game for you.
That wasn't the conclusion I was trying to draw, but you know. MOGG. And Sanders. Oh, that was a loose one, a rare one from her, but Squire, she's everywhere.
I don't think that COLDBECK's agility is quite there, and that's understandable. Severe ankle injury, seems to be taped quite heavily, so there wouldn't be free movement, in particular in a dodge and in that explosive movement to get to the ball quickly. So waiting for COLDBECK to warm it up a bit.
Miller. Oh, great defence again from the Thunderbirds, and finally they force the turnover and sweep down court in a matter of 3 seconds. MOGG. That hurts. 16 apiece.
MOGG's 10th goal, and that was a great intercept from Sutter. Was almost waiting for the whistle to blow as she came over the top of the Swifts attackers.
So Sanders. And the penalties heavily against the Sydney team. They're building on a ratio of 2-1. That's a little worrying. But they've got a turnover. And Liz Ellis.
Good attempt here coming up from Ellis. She sets the stance, jumps, blocks the ball to the post, and it's turnover for the Swifts.
Oh, Sutter. But Anderson quickly runs it down. It looked like another Sutter-Harvey turnover. And Anderson had a bit to say, but she's just straight offside. So Squire. Hodge.
Hodge driving to the ball well. A few more options here this week for the Adelaide Thunderbirds as that one rims out. Rebounded well.
Yeah, Williams strong to the ball. Got beaten by the initial challenge. Got around to the front position again and blocked it out well. So Jackson, Adamson, Miller to Anderson.
Oh, Sutter going in well too. Anderson picks up the contact. Sutter having a few good touches here in the second quarter.
Megan Anderson on 69%. Sutter's doing a good job on it.
Sutter blocking it. Covers the player once again. Follows Anderson on the goal line.
It's probably a good call. She had front position by a matter of centimetres.
Yes, and that's all you need.
Yep.
That is offside centre.
So Claire McCabe and Kate Wright. Umpire's doing a good job here.
Good take from COLDBECK. Great goal from Anna COLDBECK. MOGG 10 from 14, 7 from 9 to COLDBECK.
Gilson and contact against Hodge. Anderson coasts out of the circle. Jackson. Oh. Yeah, I'm just watching off the ball, and Harvey was really wearing Adamson. And Adamson, now she missed her first 2 shots of the match and hasn't missed since. 8 from 10 now.
Adamson's 69% there was to Anderson, sorry, and Adamson 80%. Oh, Ellis followed that one, you could see. Eyes up on the ball. Floaty pass coming in from the Thunderbirds.
And there's a contact way off the ball. Claire McCabe has seen it out of the corner of her eye against Adamson on Squire. They're all sort of shaking her head here. We didn't see it, but she obviously did. Wasn't so far off the ball. In fact, was called right back to where Squire was.
Oh, well-weighted pass to MOGG from Hodge. Saw her free, but Thunderbirds couldn't sink it.
Just getting back to that penalty there with Adamson. She'd so quickly left the scene of the crime. She was down in the goal third by the time Claire McCabe had explained what the penalty was for. Good skills from COLDBECK initially to keep it in play.
Combination working here from Hodge and MOGG and COLDBECK.
MOGG. And she's 11 from 16. Similar stats to Anderson. So the 2 goal shooters aren't quite on their best shooting, but the goal attacks are at 78 and 80% for COLDBECK and Adamson.
Hodge creating a lot of space. Drew the contact from Ellis. Good quick working of the ball in the goal circle.
And a 2-goal lead for the Thunderbirds and a possibility for 3. MOGG. Oh, yes. Watch them go. Miller. Obstruction against Squire. Don't believe the call, and while she's querying it, the Swifts play on. Oh, Jackson is checking the position of her teammates when the ball arrived.
Anderson looks like she's got a bit of fire in her at the moment. Is eager to get on with proceedings. Megan Anderson, 10 from 14 at 71%.
Obstruction against Adamson. 3rd penalty against her. There's 8 against Alison Williams. Penalties 26 to 12. So the Swifts getting an absolute bath, really, from the whistleblowers. And a good lead building for the Thunderbirds. And again, eyes are drawn back to the score at half-time back in round 4. It was 23-17, a lead of 6 after they were level at quarter-time. And here we are, a lead of 5 after they were level at quarter-time. As Yogi Berra would say, it's deja vu all over again. One of the greatest tautologies ever spoken. Oh, the New York Yankees manager. Williams.
Oh, good take from Miller. Oh, that was great pass from Anderson. let it go to Adamson. She picked up the contact and has the goal for the Sydney Swifts.
Hodge. Sanders. Lead is 4. And the next couple as we get near half-time. Just crucial. Mogg. And Ellis takes a comfortable rebound. And that's her 4th. Anderson looks for something. Ooh, I think he got the penalty. I think the held ball wasn't far away.
I agree, Stephen. At the moment, the Thunderbirds making it a little hard for the Swifts to move it down quickly into the forward line.
Adamson just looked a shade tentative there, seemed to push the shot, was anxious after it, but went through cleanly. Well done, Sanders, but looks like the throw-in will be for the Swifts. Oh, now, just a self-correction coming from Claire McCabe, so it is the Swifts. And 45 seconds, they can take their time. Ideally like to be the last ones to score in the half. Anderson. And Squire pinged for offside. Can't take the shot though. Now Anderson. 20 seconds left. Through it goes, and she's on 11 from 15, 73%. She's just improved her stats a little in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Ellis. Good try. Seconds left. Sanders. And they forced a held ball out of her. Perhaps she was looking for an available shooter. And I think that's all the action we're going to see. And it is indeed. As half-time is blown. And the Swifts are definitely in touch. They'll be glad the Thunderbirds didn't get away from them in the dying moments there. 25-23.
Very tight second quarter. Stats as such, 30 attempts to post for the Sydney Swifts. Look at the penalties, however, at the moment, leading the Sydney Swifts, 32 penalties, and Williams responsible for 10 of those. Let's see what's going to happen in the third quarter.
So it's the Thunderbirds by 2 at half-time. So we commence the second half. Change to tell you about with the Swifts as Jackson fires it across to Bryony Thornley. So Thornley on for Karen Miller. That's the area that Julie Fitzgerald has identified that perhaps can be strengthened. Well, we'll just hope that Thornley is all right, because she's got a bit of a hamstring problem left over from last week. She only lasted till late in the first quarter, Bryony Thornley, in the match against the Sandpipers.
Shooting stats says you can see Mogg 16 from 23 has missed 7. COLDBECK has only missed 2. Anderson 12 from 16. Adamson also 12, but from 15 attempts.
So Hodge. COLDBECK in pretty handy position. Doesn't miss many of these. Whoa, spoke too soon, Rebellion.
Oh, Sanders coming in late. Good attempt, and Squire pulled out very quickly.
Thornley gets it back. It wasn't meant to come back to her. Oh, the defence.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anderson had the third bite at the cherry, and it was ruled a replay. Squire. And Mogg. Hodge.
The ever-important third quarter. Good start at the moment from both sides, you can see.
I think Alison Williams gave her ankle a slight roll in back play. She's all right. Now that's still the Thunderbirds by 2. Swifts with the centre pass. Jackson to Thornley. Back to Gilsonen. Come back to the transverse line, and Gilsonen to take it. Adamson. Anderson being well defended. She has been from the start. In a reasonable position, and gets it. 13 from 17 from Egan.
Little motion there from Megan Anderson. Up against Sarah Sutter.
A held ball against Kath Harvey. When did you last see that?
Oh, it was a very quick held ball too, may I say, but turnover there, creating the opportunity for the Swifts as we see Thornley go down. She's holding her right knee.
Now, out comes Sean Mungovan. Well, Thornley, she could get a little bit of a bump, I think, on the way to the floor. Let's see.
There she is being covered by
Oh, no, she didn't.
No,
she was quite on her own. I take that back, as the replay showed. She's lasted barely 2.5 minutes in the third quarter. We're all set to continue then, and a bunch of crocs out there at the moment, both sides. But I can tell you that Reagan Jackson isn't 100% either. She's nursing an ankle and a thumb, but here she is with it, playing on. Anderson. Oh, an important one. 26 apiece. They're not going to let go, the Swifts. They're hungry for this first win over the Thunderbirds. The only team in this competition they have yet to beat. It's in its 4th year.
Oh, Harvey stuck with Adamson, but that last movement by Adamson took front position. Anderson keeping the momentum going for the Sydney Swifts, leading by 1.
Harvey, the Hodge. Williams wheels it back in, but only to the advantage of the Thunderbirds. Hodge on to COLDBECK. COLDBECK, 10 from 13. Remember, she's playing on a sore ankle as well. Adamson. On to Jackson.
Oh, good attempt there by Squire. Well backed up by Harvey. Defensively at the moment, the Thunderbirds working as one.
Squire, sorry, Sanders. Mogg again just puts that left foot to the ground and takes the ball well away from her. And they're back in front. COLDBECK. They just have a capacity, the Thunderbirds, to find something when they need to, almost on demand.
Yes, I agree, Steve. Didn't find it last week, however, but here today seems to be the Thunderbirds of old. They need to pick up the gear occasionally, and they do.
So Anderson back out to Gilson and Adamson. Miller. It's hard going, getting into the circle with Sutter and Harvey defending as only they know how. Adamson pushed it short. Harvey.
Sutter had it covered also. Kept a player offside. Oh, no, you could see that pass from COLDBECK just wasn't going to make it to Mogg.
It's almost like Ellis and Harvey at either end swapping. The intercepts, and Harvey came out for one. This might leave them short. Anderson, oh, that was a little fortunate. Risky back to Adamson, but it brings its reward.
Very effective indeed. Harvey went out for the steal, overran her player, couldn't recover quick enough. Sutter left with 2 shooters to contend with.
Jackson to Adamson. Anderson's down for the moment. We'll wait for her to get back on her feet. Adamson, good take. Oh, Anderson. Contact. A very clear elbow signal given by Claire McCabe.
Sanders, yeah, sorry, still going to say she's running it well in the centre.
Step call, though, against COLDBECK. Anderson sends Jackson to the corner, and the ball tumbled out of play. Sutter with her right thigh strapped.
Driving muscle injury.
She can't drive a car, or what? Ellis!
Oh. From one defender to another, from one captain to another, and I'm sure Harvey would not be happy with that pass.
Anderson's got to wait and get down to the circle quite quickly, and then it stalls. Miller. Oh, Harvey, contact. It's a big one.
Very late indeed. Anderson sets it up under the post. Misses an easy one, but hands on first for Anderson's.
Contact from Sutter, and Anderson grateful for the second attempt. 16 from 21 for Anderson and Adamson. Well, they're on 76%, the pair of them.
Mogg playing that wide, gave herself the space.
Mogg. This is about the shooting percentage that the Swifts were on in round 4. And back then, Anderson shot 78, and in half a game, Adamson 76%. It was really after that match that Adamson forced her way into the starting lineup thinking of Julie Fitzgerald. So Sanders. Oh, Squire. Harvey backs her up. Hodge. Good take from COLDBECK. Sanders puts a move on Jackson.
There's a good weight there from COLDBECK too, but Sanders appealing to the umpire. She thought the ball was knocked out of her hand, not picked up.
COLDBECK of a similar view, I think. They were left looking at each other and the ball had disappeared.
A good attempt there from Harvey.
Adamson looked at the umpire and got about as much joy as the Thunderbirds did at the other end. COLDBECK. Sanders arrives.
The long option opens the court up, but when you're waiting for Hodge and Sanders to make the move up forward, slows up play.
Contact, that is on the outside.
So the Thunderbirds are on a 74% team percentage shooting. Swifts 77. As Ellis picks up the crumbs. Miller. Oh, Adamson. Had to get rid of it. Oh, well taken. You don't often beat Harvey with a rebound, but justice in the eyes of the crowd is done in the end. Oh, Jackson. Oh, well, Reagan Jackson called for the contact. She can't believe it, and I've got a little bit of sympathy for her. What did you think? How did you see that one? We're right in line with it. Now, put your Adelaide allegiances to one side.
I thought it was a tough call, Steve. I agree.
Finally got it out of him. 30 apiece. What a match. Miller. Penalties are still heavily against the Swifts. 43 to 22.
Yeah, phenomenal amount of penalties against the Sydney Swifts. And once again, Williams responsible for 10 of those penalties, but collectively both Anderson and Adamson in the goal circle have got 5 apiece.
I have to say, though, Monica, that the Swifts have been attracting a lot of whistle to most of their matches, so I don't think you can say this is a one-off occurrence for them. COLDBECK. And we did see Liz Ellis talking to the umpires in one of the earlier breaks, looking for some clarification on interpretation. Sanders. Thunderbirds can take a 2-goal lead again. They don't. Ellis. Oh!
Good work there from Hodge.
Possession to
on the keeper.
Liz Ellis. Well, Mogg can't believe it.
Neither can the Adelaide crowd at the moment. A lot of whistle happening in this third quarter.
It's the fluency gone a little from the game. Just remember, oh, another turnover. 15 apiece in that turnover stat. Over a third.
And once again, Harvey frustrated by the forward players not realising that she is in the goal third. She requires them to come into the centre third, not get the over the third call.
Let's have another look at this. Who do you think's got possession here?
Mogg.
Who had front position?
Mogg.
Who should it have gone to? Mogg.
Your ears painted on.
32 to 31, the Swifts. Sanders to Hodge. You stop and consider how many decisions umpires have to make in a match, and they are like players. They're not going to get everyone right. You can only hope, as you do in all sports, that they make a consistent interpretation. And that's all the players ask for, and I think we're getting a pretty fair return out of McCabe and Wright tonight. COLDBECK. Oh, good jump. Well timed from Ellis.
Yep, unfair call from the Adelaide crowd here. I thought that was just exceptional work from Liz Ellis. She had the timing right. It's one of her fortes. It's Harvey.
Oh, she just arrived too late. But Sutter's there for the rebound. This is a very low-scoring third quarter. Here we are with 3 minutes left, and we're on 31-32. So no side has scored 10 goals yet in 13 minutes, 12 minutes of play. Sanders. Oh, Liz Ellis came, had a look, thought, oh, that ball's going to go out, and Hodge couldn't run it down. So time call for a moment. The ball's got itself stuck in the grandstand somewhere.
Sanders realised that little time was left on that pass. Squire coming in fairly strong, got the late contact call.
Yeah, I think umpire was maybe waiting for some advantage there, not forthcoming, and a good call in the end. Squire did clean up Miller a little late. Anderson, long range. Harvey just reached over the top of Adamson quite fairly.
Yep, smart play there by Harvey. Flicked it over, followed it up. Good strong take from Mogg. Ellis is out of position now.
And COLDBECK. Oh, Ellis does a Harvey, but oh, somehow through the hands of both Williams and Ellis.
First call was correct. There was a contact from Williams, but very lucky there for the Thunderbirds. So we see goal put up. Both players with the attempt, the contact coming on that pass, which is the correct call.
Gee, I tell you what, Williams and Ellis had it between them, and I think Mogg reached in and had contact on the ball. I mean, you could go back further. Anyway, it's a bit late now, isn't it? I think such is the desperation for the players in this match. You know, it becomes, as the later the game goes on, a difficult game to umpire because the players have just got hands up over everything. They're giving everything.
And I think, too, the body control starts to loosen somewhat.
The players get frustrated.
Yes.
Look how low scoring this third quarter is, as we've mentioned, because it was 25-23 at half-time, and Mogg 33 apiece. But the Swifts lead this quarter 10-8. Contact against Jackson. 37 seconds left in the quarter. Chance for the Thunderbirds to take the lead. Watch the defensive pressure coming from the Swifts. Can they deny them? Hodge. Sanders. Mogg out to Hodge. Jackson was offside, contact, everything. COLDBECK. 15 left. And Sanders has just forgotten that she's got the centre pass. And she latched onto that a bit more quickly. I've had a chance to get a last goal. As it is, turnover happens. Williams.
Oh.
And time is blown. No luck for Anderson there. Just trying to wrestle with Sutter on the edge of the circle. Wow, we're all set up for a great last quarter. There's only one in it.
Great third quarter there from the Swifts. Yes, they picked up that one from the half-time break. Shooting stats for the Sydney Swifts: 46 attempts to the post, 33 scored, but look at those penalties. Williams responsible for 11. Overall, they have 49 penalties, a lot in the forward line as well, Steve.
Only one in it. Can the Swifts get their first win over the Thunderbirds? And it's a bark. We're all set up for a thriller of the last 15 minutes as the umpires get us underway. Final quarter, and a one-goal lead. And the change made by the Swifts. So Nat Sloan joins the game, three-quarter time, and coming in, replacing Kelly Adamson effectively, because Adamson has been replaced, and Anderson comes back to goal attack. Sloan in a goal shooter. And I suppose Adamson's stats did fall away. 13 from 19 when she left the game, 68%.
Perhaps Coach Julie Fitzgerald just wanting to upset the momentum of the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
I just marvel at the way the Thunderbirds close in on the player receiving the ball for the Swifts. They just anticipate so well. Style of defence where they just sort of sag off, wait and close in.
Yeah, that lot of explosive movement there, energy. Look at that, Sanders kept her eyes on the ball. Height advantage going away the Swifts. Turnover to the Thunderbirds in their goal circle.
And a miss. Ellis blocked out quite nicely. Williams waiting for someone to run onto it. But how much run have they got in tiring legs? Jackson. Sloan puts up a very confident shot. And so Nat Sloan, who's on song it would seem, gets her first couple.
Rebounds at the moment, Sydney Swifts with 14, Thunderbirds with 9. Penalties there, Swifts leading that race, 50 to them.
Sloan, 3 from 3, nothing but net. And they've got a 2-goal lead, great start. It's in fact a 3-0 start to this quarter for the Swifts. Has their time finally arrived. 10 matches, 10 wins for the Thunderbirds. This is number 11.
Mogg holding a stationary position, was forced backwards there by Hodge into the space, and she read that pass well from Alex Hodge. Mogg 21 from 31 at 68%. Started the game off a lot better, has dropped away. In that third
Harvey's
quarter.
down. Anderson made the most of it. Sorry, Monica.
No worries. She didn't make the most of it and scores it for the Swifts.
Thrown away.
The ball coming over from Sloan. Harvey losing her footing.
She's a little slow to get up too. It was quite a heavy fall, and made the most of that, the Swifts. Gilsonen. Hands up. Gets it back. A little fortunate. And Sutter has asked for time.
Something's happened. Yes, Sarah Sutter looks to be in a lot of pain at the moment.
So is it the back or that driver muscle that you talked about, Monica? We see what happens here. Oh, up she goes. All right, back underway. Sloan and Miller. Anderson smiles at Harvey. I'm not quite sure what that was about. I can guess. Sutter and Harvey. And it's the Swifts by 2, but plenty of time for the champions to reel them in. Hodge to Sanders.
Rebecca Sanders' work rate is just unbelievable. I watched her go into the defensive area, work mid-court, and there she is on top of the circle.
COLDBECK. It's brewing as one of the finishes of the season. Miller. We had a beauty last week when the Swifts played the Sandpipers and they just failed to get there. Down by 1. They wouldn't want to lose by 1 again. It would be just a killer. Anderson. Out again by 2.
Anderson 22 from 29 at 76%. Attempts to post. The Thunderbirds 72 attempts. The Swifts at 75 attempts. Sorry, 51 and 50. I'm reading the wrong line. I'm reading the penalties field, so I apologise for that.
Oh, and the throwing goes the way of the Swifts. Good defence coming from Alison Williams that time. Gilsonen to Jackson. Anderson. Miller. Sloan. Good. Harvey and Sutter give attacking pairs such a workout that fresh legs as much as anything in the last quarter that Sloan can offer. This might be the key.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. At the moment, margin 3 in favour of the Swifts. That move by Julie Fitzgerald seems to have created something for the Swifts in the forward line. Anderson roaming well also.
Oh, Harvey can't quite defend it effectively from behind. Anderson. And now the lead looks good. But not for a second can the Swifts afford to back off. Sanders. COLDBECK. Oh, Just turned her eyes for a second away, but converts nicely. That's good composure, isn't it? You know, you drop the ball. Sometimes that's enough to just put you off your shot a second later. Not for COLDBECK.
Oh, great work.
Good drive from Sloane.
So to be happy with that call there, yes, Sloane. Attracting the contact. There's Coach Margango.
They were beaten by 37 last week, the Thunderbirds. Even with Harvey and COLDBECK back, to turn that kind of form around in a week is quite something to achieve.
There was shortening of the distance there from Ellis. MOGG getting another opportunity.
You know, depending what happens this weekend, should the Swifts get up and should Phoenix win, and then what's under pressure is first position for the Thunderbirds. And of course, you host the major semi-final. That's a big advantage. And if you win it, you host the grand final. Well, that's the thinking. It just depends on venue availability to some extent, but we won't go down that track as we did last year. But they want to finish minor premiers, the Thunderbirds. Let's re-simplify it. Miller.
I don't really think the Thunderbirds would care where they played the final. They just want to finish minor premiers. It's simple as that.
Oh, the post was on the move earlier. Jackson thought she might have had a toe over the line. Some of the crowd saw it.
COLDBECK drawing the contact there. Ellis not in agreement, almost.
Well, it's very unlike Liz Ellis to tell the umpire what was going on.
I agree.
She felt compelled to do it. And only one in it now. Anderson to the corner for Jackson. Anderson must get this one.
Took the space to Megan Anderson. Held it up to the Thunderbirds defenders.
25 from 33, Megan Anderson. 76%. Season average, 75, so she's right on it. Gilson and Miller. You just sense the next few errors, turnovers, are going to be crucial. Who's going to make them?
Sky got picked up for the contact there.
Defence is out for contact.
I'll tell you what, Monica, we're in for a great final series, aren't we? With the teams this close. Sandpipers and Swifts last week, one in it.
Phoenix and Thunderbirds. Phoenix into great form at the end of the season. Thunderbirds just out of whack last week, but they're there.
Won't it be a special moment if Julie Fitzgerald gets her first win over Margango? Their rivalry goes a long way. Anderson, not quite. A tip from Sutter, a back up from Harvey. How many times have they combined like that?
Good reading there from both of the two defensive players. Sanders having to hold it up. Good work from the Sydney Swifts, blocking movement up forward.
Sanders took a trip to the floor. Harvey drives it up to MOGG. In the corner, Sanders. Over to Hodge, and contact against Ellis on COLDBECK. Applause from the crowd. And through it goes. And the Thunderbirds can pull it back to one here.
Wing obstruction. Keeper, hold, outside.
Under 6 minutes left. Two the difference.
With the keeper, centre.
Close attention there from Ellis on the last two trips down court. COLDBECK has the Adelaide crowd behind her.
Next possession is crucial. Jackson. Sanders just holding up. Oh, Harvey. Anderson to take the shot from point-blank range. And does not miss. Well, the crowd not happy with the umpires, but let me tell you, the penalty count is 60 against the Swifts, 32 the Thunderbirds. Miller. Gilson into Jackson. Sloane. Oh, Squire. What a
take by Squire.
And she took Miller out of it for a trouble. Well, the game's got everything, and we could have a thriller of a finish too. Hodge. Sanders. Mogg just almost rolls it back to her. COLDBECK.
Going into the pocket there, look at that elevation from Squire. Took it well, had to land. Good roll.
Sloane, Jackson. Lead is 1. Anderson. Lead is 2. Tell you who'd be watching this match with mixed feelings. Katrina Wagg. Never managed to beat the Thunderbirds. The former Swifts skipper has pulled the pin on her netball at this level. And she'd dearly want them to win, and she'd dearly want to be out there.
Offside.
Touched out, and offside was Reagan Jackson. The courage of some of the less than 100% players out there. Injuries all over the place.
Offside.
COLDBECK and Sutter. So, Jackson's got an injury. Oh,
good
turnover.
hands. Squire once again putting the pressure on.
3 to go, and the Thunderbirds can draw level here. And they'd have the next centre pass. Watch the work around the circle.
Contact centre.
Contact Jackson. The 10th penalty. COLDBECK. And through it goes, with Williams holding the skirt of Ellis to support her. Couldn't make the difference. And now the Thunderbirds can take the lead. They've trailed for much of this last quarter, but the champions are steaming home. Sanders.
Almost making a mess of it between the MOGG and COLDBECK. Front position there by COLDBECK. Did it well. Ellis putting a lot of pressure on that. Pass over the circle.
But they've got the lead. 2.5 to go. Gee, it could come down to who's got possession in the last 30 seconds. Using the ball to support herself. Miller. Sloane must get it. Doesn't. Oh, gets the rebound though. Oh, how would you like to be out there? The next turnover, if there is one, crucial.
Contact, goal attack, penalty.
Contact against Anderson.
Next to the goal attack. Right,
Mogg.
offside.
Ellis takes one. Jackson. Jackson again. And the throw-in is with the Thunderbirds. 1.5 to go. 45 apiece. What a finish here.
Contact, goal attack.
And Anderson is the contact. Sutter to take it. And just hold on to your seats here, folks. In the last minute and a bit,
Contact, goal attack.
we're going to have everything. Hodge. Mogg. Question of timing here about when you put in your what might be your last goal. How much time do you leave your opposition to draw level or to pull ahead? COLDBECK bounces it out for Hodge. COLDBECK to shoot. Screening was Mogg. They got the lead again. Under a minute left. Anderson looks only for Miller. Contact Sutter, so Sloane will have the chance to level it once more, and there'll be 40 seconds to go. Oh, off to Anderson. Through it goes. Half a minute left. Contact against the Swifts. Time called. Time on now. COLDBECK. 20 seconds left. Sanders takes the important intercept. Ellis, yes, has got it. Williams, full time. A 1-goal victory to the Thunderbirds. Oh, a crusher for the Swifts. They led for much of the last quarter. Oh, the Thunderbirds have got there. A great match. 11 from 11, the Thunderbirds. And that's as close as the Swifts have ever come. And that is the first time the Thunderbirds have ever won by a solitary goal. Oh, an historic night. But not quite the finish that the Swifts had hoped for. 47-46. The penalty count so heavily against the visitors. They took more rebounds. They conceded fewer turnovers. But 16 intercepts to 11. And the defensive end of Squire, Harvey and Sutter, again decisive in this match. They had fewer attempts, but a better goal shooting percentage has just got them home, the Thunderbirds. Great courage in the last quarter, and a 1-goal victory for the Thunderbirds. Here's Monica Lamb with Sarah Sutter.
Thank you, Steve. Well, I have a Sarah Sutter that can't talk. She said to me if she came off court, have I turned blue?
Oh, I think I've turned blue. I can't talk. It's amazing. It's an amazing game, and we've had such a hard week, and it's been an emotional week, and to finish like that is just unreal.
I can see the emotion on your face, Sarah, and it was almost like a grand final.
Oh, look, it was, and you know, the teams, it was just great netball tonight, and it was so much passion out there, and it was just a fantastic game on to the both sides.
Coming off that incredible loss last week, it was devastating for you, and I know that all of you wanted to forget that 60 minutes, the turnaround here for the Thunderbirds tonight, but the Sydney Swifts, you've got to give them some credit too. They played superbly.
Oh, look, full credit to them. They were a great side tonight, and I mean, there's so many great sides out there, and they played great netball too, and we were just glad to come through with the win.
Just lastly, how is your thigh? It would look quite serious, a lot of emotion as you were coming off court.
Yeah, I've been carrying a bit of an injury for a couple of weeks, but I'll get there, and only, 4 more games to go or something, so I'll be fine.
You know, I'm totally unbiased. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Sarah Sutter understandably happy and relieved, but spare a thought for the Swifts. The second week in a row they've lost by a solitary goal. Semi's just 3 weeks away. Thunderbirds in great position to take the minor premiership and perhaps a third title in a row. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, hope you can be with us. We pick up the action from the Queensland Firebirds and Melbourne Kestrels match played in Brisbane. The Kestrels still a chance to make the semis, the Swifts having lost. Next Saturday, our feature match involves 2 more in the top 4. The Melbourne Phoenix at home should prove a tough assignment for the Sydney Sandpipers. Hope you can join us at 5 o'clock. And do drop by our netball website at abc.net.au/netball. This week, we'd like to have your input on television coverage. Would you like to see